Stephanie, in her inspection planning video, said that preparing for an inspection is like preparing a meal. I will take you from the kitchen and introduce you to the world of strategy games. Games of strategies are challenging and can be implemented during an inspection. When we draw strategies, we need to understand the concepts and the big picture for implementing our decisions. Some games follow the rules of coercion or arm twisting, that the players threat or force the other party to act in an involuntary manner, like chess. Some strategy games do not use coercion, and often autonomous decision-making skills have high significance in determining the outcome. Inspection is something like this. What we mean with uncoerced is that you, as one of the players or as an inspector, may make your move by observing the process, dosing activities, withdrawal of the blood samples, reviewing of the case report forms, and asking a question, and make the other party, for example, investigator, study director, to make his or her move by way of reaction, response, answer, explanation, which there are no threats or force in this interaction. Almost all strategy games require internal thinking, like decision trees, and all of them have typically very high situational awareness. In a chess game, before you move your pawn, for example, you need to see the rest of the board to enable connections of that move before taking your next move. Inspection is also like this. When you look into an informed consent form, ICF, you have to think about its relation with all the other documents and procedures. For example, the date of recruitment of the volunteers, date of screening, etc., whether they are in place. Or when you check the laboratory results, you will have to think how it relates to the study protocol as well as the case report forms. In all games, we discuss and agree who will be playing what and who will be making the first move. The referee tosses a coin for a football match. You may also take one white and one black pawn in your hand and ask the opponent to pick the one. And in inspections, everything starts with an opening meeting, where you introduce the inspectors and explain the regulatory framework for the conduct of this inspection. You also review the objectives and scope of the inspection. Then you provide a short summary of the methods and procedures you will be using to conduct the inspection. It is also important that availability of all the resources, documents, and facilities needed by the inspectors are confirmed. If needed, you clarify the inspection plan and confirm the date and timing for the closing meeting. Remember, in Stephanie's video, she mentioned the importance of having an inspection plan. Although you make this plan to follow during the conduct of the inspection, it is also your responsibility to adjust it on the spot to ensure the inspection objectives are achieved. Depending on the type of the inspection, you may focus on different things. If it is a triggered inspection, you will focus on the problems. Quality risk management principles are not only for the clinical research team, it is also for the inspectors that may use such approaches to decide which procedure to focus on depending on the potential risk they possess. During the inspection, you will be reviewing records, observing the activities, processes, and interviewing the clinical research team. And sometimes you are also observing the study subjects. Though you trust people, never take their answers as granted. You need to triangulate the answers for verification. Remember, in strategy games, everything is interconnected. It is exactly the same in an inspection. Nothing exists in an isolated or in silo way. This is why there are always other means of cross-checking the answers. You may check a document to verify or interview another staff to verify the answer given was correct or not. You may know all the GCP guidelines by heart. This is not enough to make you a good inspector. It is your observational skills, questioning skills, critical thinking and communication skills, including analytical skills and your preparations that will make you a competent inspector. Do not forget, all inspection observation should be documented. If need, you may make copies of the record to illustrate inconsistency or non-compliances as evidence. There could be cases where access to records or copying the documents might be refused for any reasons or denial of accessing to certain areas to which the inspectors has the legal access. You should document such refusals to include in your inspection observations. At the end of the inspection, inspectors should review all observations to determine which ones should be reported as non-compliance under different headings, for example, deficient quality system, ethics committee issues, data integrity issues, etc. Reporting is very critical. Everything should be clearly stated in a very concise manner and always supported by objective evidence. All reported observations should be identified with references to the specific requirement of the GCP standard or any other guidelines against which the inspections has been conducted. Do not leave any observation without a reference. When time comes for the closing meeting, present the inspection findings to the inspected party and the management. You have to make sure that everything is clear and there is no misunderstanding. There might be some additional documents. You may require them to send to the inspection team. There might be different rules in national guidelines, but in general, there is a time frame, usually 30 days for WHO, that the inspection report is to be sent. And upon receipt of the inspection report, the inspected party has been given 30 days to submit the CAPA plan. Remember, you need to be a good strategy player in every inspection. You must know the big picture and go deeper with strategic moves using the risk-based approach. By this way only, you can achieve what you planned and ensure safety and well-being of the study participants.